Oh, hey everyone, what's up? This is Calvin. I'm talking to Garrett from Maul. How's it
Yo, what's
going,
going
Garrett?
on, man? I'm okay. I'm doing all right. I got some cold Coors Light by me.
Awesome. Yeah, I just got off work. I'm all kind of sweaty. I was just ran home as fast as I could.
You ran home.
Um, yeah, yeah. I live just pretty close to where I work, but yeah, we were just I was just saying that we talked before, so I kind of just picking up where we left off, and I think last time we talked, you guys hadn't even released the album yet, Seraphic Punishment yet,
Okay,
and
okay.
yeah, you guys put that out last year and pretty awesome, badass album, super heavy.
Thank you.
He got a lot of good reviews, and yeah, one of my favorites from last year.
Yeah,
And I think since that time, yeah, you guys been touring nonstop, it seems like, and recently got on 20 Buck Spin,
mm-hmm.
and you guys just put out a like a promo EP last week.
Yeah. A little EP, a little free song EP.
Yeah, that I was just listening to that. I ordered the tape, but it hadn't come in yet. But yeah, people should check it out. Desecration and Enchantments, the promo EP. Definitely hit up 20 bucks spin to pick that up. Um,
Yeah, a nice little introduction with the label and some new music from us, even though the album was like last year. But
yeah,
we recorded that album in 2021, so for it to come out a year later, and then we've been playing those songs a while, so it's like it's nice to be reintroduced to everybody with 20 bucks spin and like have some new music ready to go. So
yeah. How did that go about getting on 20 bucks spin? Because to me that was a big deal.
it was fucking surprise to me too. Dave actually approached us, just DM on Instagram, said he liked what we had going on and kind of just wondering our plans and if we wanted to talk about working together to let him know. And it was actually on a tour we were on last December when it happened. I think we were in Kansas City. I know we were in Kansas City. I remember the time because it was before the show, and I gathered all the boys, and I was like, "Yo, all right, hear this out." The label just hit us, so it was pretty cool moment. And we just after we got home in December, we started writing this Desecration and Enchantment, and then yeah, we went and recorded it between two longer tours. We had a 3 week tour in April and 4 weeks in June, and we recorded it a week in May in between the little bit we were home. So, uh, yeah, it's been a fucking busy year, but very worth it, very rewarding. I don't know. It's just kind of riding it while it's there.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm really happy for you guys. I mean, I'm just a fan. I mean, I really like your music and just being out in North Dakota too. Just I mean, I lived out there too, so I mean, damn, it's just winters are hard and like not a lot of people are into like death metal or hard music. So it's just cool to see you guys get that recognition.
Yeah. It's a kind of a desolate place. North Dakota can be, especially in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys toured around here in the Southwest back in April. I really wanted to go, but I have a baby boy, so I couldn't take off from him. But
Yeah,
how did that tour go about?
it was great. We went down the West Coast, straight across from North Dakota all the way to Seattle, and then straight down all the way to La Jolla, and then up through the desert. And God, yeah, we played Tempe, we played Albuquerque, we played Bisbee, Arizona. That was interesting. Very cool little spot, but yeah, just seeing the Southwest for the first time was really beautiful. Honestly, just driving through that, and there was one night, I think it was, I don't remember what show it was, but we were driving and we just pulled off to the side and shut off the lights and like just we're just hanging out with the sky because we don't ever get like that dark around here with all the light pollution and stuff. And just it was a just a crazy feeling, like not even seeing the homies like 3 feet away from you. That's how dark it was, but just enjoying just doing something different, getting out of the fucking van and really appreciating the area we were in.
Yeah, I read that you booked all the shows yourself. I mean, I don't know. That's like a massive tour and a massive amount of like promotion, like venues to like hit up. But
Yeah, and
yeah, how
might
did
do
you
a,
do it? Do you just like map it out on like whatever? Like you just make a map and a route and you just hit every stop,
pretty
or how did that
pretty
go?
much. Especially if there's like something already booked, like a fest or something that we know we're going to be around, but we're going to be out for a week or two around it. It's pretty easy to just kind of visualize a routing, knowing what's 3 to 6 hours away. Sometimes we have to put in that 7 to 8 hour push um, of drive time just to get to the next place. But that's kind of the perils of the middle of the country. Um, yeah, I kind of just map out a routing, and then at this point we have friends or somebody I know in pretty much every place that we have played, and a lot of them have been repeats now, or even just Instagram. You know what I mean? Just Instagram friends and knowing of, or I use Bandcamp and the location tag when I'm booking tours. If there's somewhere that I don't know, and I just kind of do some genre searching around that area, and then I just go to Instagram and DM them or email. It's pretty just toes to the ground, fucking running to do it. A lot of emails. I work with venues in some cities. I work with just the venue because we know them well enough, or I have a promoter that I just like. Yo, we want to come back through. But yeah, a lot of it is just talking to bands or DMing an email and then getting left unread a bunch. But yeah, I've done everything for Maul up to this point, booking wise. Obviously, with some help of like regional promoters, like gathering like 3 days first in Florida or 3 days in Texas, kind of doing it in one swoop. But it's still me like reaching out to make that happen. So there's no middleman for us. You know what I mean? It's just us working for us.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's impressive. I'm curious about that Bisbee show. Like, actually, I might just in general, how was like the turnout, especially in places like Bisbee? Because
Oh,
to
the
me,
turnout was
that's like
the
kind of
tur-
way out there.
yeah, for sure. It was we made I wish I could remember this person's name, but we made someone's fucking life because they work in Bisbee and they're like they actually worked at the place we played and it was their off day, and but they were like a super like metal crust type person, like patches all over, and they were just like so stoked. They actually gave us like a little walking tour around Bisbee. um but yeah, I mean the turnout was like a couple families trying to eat there. uh a couple people popped in just because there's always music going on that like street of bars. There was a show next door and we were like bullshitting with one of those bands. It was just like a traditional bar style band. um yeah, I mean we hung with the bartenders, we had a good time. uh Still sold some merch to the few people that were there and just hung out, but ate some really good food. But yeah, it wasn't really like a show. It was pretty interesting, very much more of an experience than it was like we got to go back and play Bisbee.
Yeah, I know it's like one of those towns like way south, the southern part of Arizona, like kind of like those old west towns like Tombstone,
Right,
and
right.
yeah, like that's kind of like how I know it as. And then well, my brother said he saw you guys and out at the Albuquerque show. Like, how
Yeah,
was the
Albert,
Albuquerque show? That would have been the show I
Albert.
would have went to, but I couldn't
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. I remember. Uh, you and your brother look a lot alike. uh, yeah, the Albuquerque was fucking awesome. It was at a place that is no longer called La Chancla. Um, shout out, shout out Bethany running that. She holds down a lot of the DIY scene for years and shit. From my understanding, she was just a G, ran the show. Um, Lachanka was awesome. It was a floor show, all ages, and like Honestly, Albuquerque might have been the coolest show of that run for a lot of reasons. But like people were so stoked that we were just there. Like literally just that. Like and it was such a like it felt like a little like block party like reunion thing, like just hanging out in the parking lot and like people were coming up and just like everyone was wanting to like take pictures and just talk and drink a beer and fucking we were signing a bunch of shit and just like some of the guys were laughing. Shout out Lamb. He was like, I always knew this day would come. Garrett's always been a res legend. So it was pretty cool to, I don't know. It was, Albuquerque had a really cool energy that night. And, shout out Face Ripper.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
sh-
Those
yeah,
guys are heavy.
shout,
I dig them.
shout out Church Crusher. Incredible band. You don't bump that. Yeah, no, good times. Like, that whole run was fucking awesome. But I would say Albuquerque and potentially San Diego or La Jolla was like the best shows, and they were both all ages floor shows. So can't beat that energy. I wish I had that much energy still.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you guys like jumped right into like another tour, like on the other side of the country, right? With like Sentence to
Yep.
Die, the other tour you did.
No, that was one was with Brat from New Orleans
Oh, okay.
and Terminal Nation and Primitive Rage from Springfield, Missouri, and Tombstoner from uh, New York. The Sentence to Die one is coming up in a couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
That'll be the first one that we do with them, which is pretty cool. They're Minneapolis death metal. They're on Maggot Stomp. I'm sure people know who Sentence to Die are, but we haven't done a lot together other than Collapsing Sun Fest show a couple years ago. But they just released their album, Parasitic Infection, and then we just released our EP, Desecration and Enchantment. So the tour kickoff is in Minneapolis, and it's just we're putting it as a double release show. That's gonna be pretty cool. Just putting on for Midwest death metal, especially way up here north, Minnesota and North Dakota.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I always love checking out bands. Or if I mean, yeah, I do the same thing. A lot of Bandcamp and Instagram. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm the fan from the fan point of view. I look at a lot of like people who collect albums, like records and tapes, and that's kind of how I discover bands, just like from other like music collectors. But
Hell yeah, yeah.
yeah, you can see like if they're from like yeah the Midwest, I'll definitely check it out.
Hmm. Yeah, there's some
But
cool shit up here in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, I'd love to go back. I mean, I lived in like Bismarck and Grand Forks, but I've been through Fargo. Usually I would drive through, and but yeah, I always dug like the whole like Fargo setup, like the downtown area, and
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Pretty
yeah,
peaceful.
and
It's a small, big town.
yeah, yeah, and then but yeah, I think I moved like in 2000. I moved out of North Dakota in 2017 and kind of been back here in Arizona. And then just yeah, for me the local music scene is just out here on the Navajo res, so I just check out bands around here. Yeah, a lot of sick bands around here coming out, and yeah, it's just cool to. I don't know. I feel like I don't really have much of a social life, but like I think going to shows too is just kind of like where like I feel like that's where I kind of like know people, or I just see them from other shows I went to, or people from
Yep.
other bands. Yeah, I feel like that's
No,
kind of like
that's
where
like,
I hang out.
yeah, no, absolutely. That's like the perfect spot for a community feeling, right? It's just like a bunch of like-minded people. It doesn't matter if you never fucking met them before. You're all at one spot for a reason, right? Like just appreciating music and art and the energy, and yeah, you got to fucking hold on to those few things that you can have for just like how important it feels,
Yeah, it's cool. It's like I don't know. I don't really go out much anywhere. I think maybe just to shows. I think the place I go mostly is like Albuquerque. Like Albuquerque's like the biggest place
How far of a
to
drive is that for you?
about 2 hours. If I'm
Yep.
going like nonstop, no gas, no bathroom breaks, just straight to Albuquerque, it's 2 hours. But I mean, if I have to like stop for like to get gas or to use the restroom, yeah, it's like 2.5 hours.
Sure, sure.
But yeah, the venues up there are nice. I don't know if you got to check out the if you got a chance to check out the downtown area. There are a couple like venues in the downtown area.
No, I didn't get to see much of Albuquerque, honestly.
Oh yeah.
And La Chancla, from what I heard from some of the locals, was in a very sketchy area, which all of our favorite venues are. So, honestly,
Yeah, I think my brother took me down that part of town to we're trying to look for some like Mexican like street tacos in that area. Yeah, it was kind of pretty sketchy, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. You just kind of head on a swivel a little bit.
yeah. But yeah, the like the downtown area is pretty cool. There's a couple of places that are like 21 and older, so like it's more of a laid back audience where people just drink beer and don't really like mosh or anything like that. But I think the under 21 venues, I think, are probably the more like the I guess the more active crowd.
Hmm.
Like they're
Would you
you
say that
know
most of those are probably DIY run too?
um
The like the more all ages ones.
yeah, I'd say I know the one place called like Launchpad. That place is like I
I've heard a
think
lot about Launchpad.
yeah, Launchpad there. It's like all ages, yeah, like there's like a bar area, but it's like separated. But yeah,
Yeah.
that place gets packed, and yeah, people are really active there. And then the other places that are like bar venues, those are the ones that are like 21 and over. I feel like those are like, people are just hanging out. Not
Hmm.
not a whole lot of like
More of
crazy
the head
shit
nod
happens.
crowd.
Yeah, my brother and I call it the craft beer crowd. Like people just kind of
Yeah,
hold their beer and then like kind of like
doing
nod
this
nod
thing.
their yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, I do. I don't know. Like I said, you can't like fake the energy that a lot of all ages shows bring, and I think it's important because having an all ages venue or a fucking spot to hold all ages shows is like how you make a music scene. Like it's so detrimental for kids of any fucking age to see that it's just people in their town or people on the road. Just like I said, in that community setting, you know what I mean? Like, oh fuck, this is so cool. Like I could do this. Like that's like the coolest thing out of music is like all ages shows and seeing like Fargo is just getting a influx now of um like 15 to 19-year olds like starting just a bunch of bands together, a bunch of different genres, like and everyone and Maul and every like Spec and a bunch of Fargo bands were just like championing it, like, yo, I hope you're ready to play shows. Like we're gonna put you on fucking everything. um and they think it's like, you know what I mean? Like they've seen us like do shit and like we're just like ready to like champion the next wave, you know what I mean? Like just like let's make this a lot easier than it was for us, especially when I was fucking 18. Um, and bands like things just felt a little bit different. That could have been just me, you know what I mean? But at 33, I want to make sure that these young bands are like feel fucking a part of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, no, that's cool. Yeah, I see a lot of young people at the shows around here, and definitely, yeah, there's some new bands that I've been able to check out, but I see them on like the flyer or like the whatever the promotional stuff is. Like, yeah, it's really cool to see. And um yeah, I'm just I mean, I'm just a fan, just like a collector of like music. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think I've always been like that ever since like in high school. Well, I'm like a couple years older than you, but I grew up in the CD era.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just have like a ton of CDs just like all over the place. And yeah, I feel like I don't know, it's kind of hard to break that habit. Like I haven't really gone full like just digital streaming. I still feel like I have to have the CD or tape or record, but I think
Hmm.
mostly CD. I mean, um, yeah, it'd be cool to like try to get some bands on a CD and like just kind of like help in that way. That'd be something I always want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Put together a mixtape type thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't. I mean, it would just be just to help the bands out. I wouldn't want to make like money off them. It's their since
Hmm.
it's their music and their art. But yeah, it's something I always felt like I should try to do instead of like spending all my money on like all this like whatever band's music. I should like try to
Yeah,
invest in the bands around here and like help out the
especially
bands around here.
I had a couple talks with some people who uh like went to a show first time in 2018. They're in bands now, um, but like they went from shooting photos at the show. They started doing a zine. They started drawing art for the zine and started getting more and more into the drawing, and then started doing art for bands. Um, and then fast forward is just like got into a band and now is like doing tattoos and shit. And that progression of just like 4 years of seeing that, like just finding any lane that you can get into, like that, like that this scene or community means a lot to you, and like maybe not everybody can be in a band or pick up an instrument, but yeah, like starting a small label to help out bands, like with tapes or CDs, like podcasts, just to get them out, just to like get faces out, whoever watches, like zines are very cool, especially in local scenes. Like it's cool to just hold something and read about people you might know, or just learn about shit you don't know. um yeah, any lane is important as long as you feel it. You just have to feel it and give a shit.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, I noticed like I moved out here in 2020, but there's like a ton of people out here that don't have internet and don't have like a smartphone that they still rely on like tapes and CDs and DVDs. Like there's
Hmm.
yeah, there's just a big population of people that still like
Sounds like
use
a
that.
zine.
Yeah, yeah,
Sounds
use
like a
that
zine
kind
would be
of
really
like
cool.
they use that kind of media to like, yeah, because I mean I barely have like a good signal out here. I have to like get Wi-Fi and then like as soon as I walk like half a block away, I don't have service.
Damn.
Yeah. Plus that probably also helps my CD habit. Like I gotta like listen to it when I'm driving or when I'm at work because at work I they blocked all the Spotify and like YouTube sites.
Oh,
So if I
sure.
want to listen to some music, I just bring some CDs and just listen to it on the work computer.
Yeah, pop it in. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Can't take that away from you.
Yeah, actually, no. They, I guess the IT people found because I was like burning the CD onto the computer hard drive, and then the IT people emailed me and were like, "Hey, we noticed you have like 30 gigs of music on your computer. Like, you need to delete that." I'm like, "Oh,
my
okay,
man, my man went straight to 30 gigs.
yeah." No, I was just like burning. Like, I was like for a year
Yeah,
straight, I would just like pop in CDs and burn it onto the work computer, and then
yeah.
I guess they found out. I don't know what.
Like, can you stop taking up all our space?
Yeah, slowing down the network.
Right, right.
But yeah, I just listen to CDs. I don't burn it onto the computer or the hard drive at work. But but yeah, I ordered the EP you guys put out and still waiting on it. But yeah, it's really sick. I like the artwork. I was just gonna
Thank you.
ask like, how'd you get the artist or how'd you find that artist who did the artwork?
Um, so I had worked with this artist on my side or like internet project with Brennan from Thorn, um, called Paranoia Apparition. We did like it's like a black metal-y, grindcore style band. We actually have some new music coming out soon too. Uh, and I found uh, Datura Datura AD on Instagram, with that project. Sorry. And I just loved how vivid and like colorful everything was. It was like, or vibrant is probably a better word. But they were still like hellscapes. They were still like haunting pieces, and that's like their bread and butter. That's like what they do with acrylic and digital paintings. And obviously, the flag behind you, traffic punishment. Like we went all out with
Yeah.
like the way
That
that
was
I
just sick. Yeah.
approach the way I approached Jason Barnett, who painted that, was like, I want this to look like an ethereal, like sexy hell. Like I still wanted to look fucking haunting. I wanted to, and he brought out so many fucking details, but like the color scheme was really important to me. And it wasn't like, yeah, Maul is gonna be like a colorful band, but after that and all the compliments and just seeing like how really cool it was, especially on wall flags and holding the record and stuff. And I just don't really vibe with the like plain black. Here's a here's a drawing and fucking here's our logo in red type thing. And like I listen to a lot of type of stuff like that, but like the art and how it like grabs you is really really important to me. It's like just the full package of how it's presented. So it was like the same idea. Like I wanted it to be like attractive to the eyes, I guess. But like I told Datura on the EP artwork, I just wanted kaleidoscope hell instead of an ethereal hell, with the faces basically playing on anguish and uh, ecstasy, basically. And then yeah, they knocked it out of the park. I was actually inspired by a episode of Samurai Jack, and then some older pieces of Datura, and I sent them my idea, and yeah, they knocked it out. Just fucking killed it. Like I don't know if we'll always have very very vibrant covers, but I'm into it right now, and it feels like it's as long as it makes sense and it's real. We're not forcing it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't hurt to be different.
Yeah. No, it's sick. Yeah. Are you guys, how far along are you guys with like putting out another full length album?
I'm actually in the practice space right now. We have 9 new songs right now. Um, Not all of them are complete. I'd say probably four and a half are like lyrics laid to them. We're playing a couple of them live already. Um, yeah, we're ready to get in there early spring, February, March to get in the studio, get this thing out next year. Uh, yeah, we've been getting together 3 times a week, Thursday, Saturday, Sundays, and just fucking ripping on this. Josh and I have been getting together Thursdays and Fridays, so it's literally been Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday with this band. But we bought a shuttle bus that we converted, um, just to help with touring. Like it's a full bench setup and bunks, double bunks all the way around it, and the gear wall setup and separate door and everything. So we've been doing that the last 2 months too. Um, I told Label Man this the other day. I was like, yeah, we've been putting in full time death metal hours without the full time pay, but
Mhm.
it's uh it's all work for something. You know what I mean? It's all work for next year. How much we're gonna be on the road and getting this album out with some like $20 spent. You know what I mean? Like that's a big deal to me. That's the death metal label, and I had no idea if Maul would ever be a part of something like that. And we're just trying to stay as busy as we can out there and show these motherfuckers Midwest death. You know?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Um, yeah, I gotta head out pretty quick, but I was just wondering like if you had any like favorite albums that from this year that you think people should check out.
Oh, damn! Should have gave me some homework. Favorite albums from this year? Let's see here. Off top. Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna throw a few things out. The Acacia Strain double albums that came out this year. They put out like a 3-song Doom album and a 10-song just faster Acacia Strain style shit, just ass beater record. I don't remember the fucking names of them. That's how bad I am. I'm just kind of going off of what's getting the most plays for me this year. Um, the Dying Fetus album that came out. God, I'm so bad with names. Uh, that has been getting played a lot. Um, the new Tomb Mold, the new Tomb Mold that came out on 20 bucks spin. Fucking label mates. They don't know who we are. That shit is really fucking cool. Glad to see the Doom expansion in that album as well. Oh, I've been thinking about like what I've been into the most this year because I always on my personal Instagram always put out like a most played. You know, sometimes a lot of times I end up doing albums and EP demos, like two separate top tens. um, the Undergang album that came out this year is fucking incredible. Um, I don't think they can do any wrong. Everything they do is just perfect grimy death metal to me. Um, damn, the homies Hanging Fortress. They dropped their album with Redefining Darkness, Our Old Home. Um, and I think that in the huge I don't want to say trend like negatively, but like the like really popular chunky moshable death metal that has like been around like Maggot Stomp style. I don't know if there's a band doing it better than Hanging Fortress right now.
Yeah, I gotta
Just
check that out.
massive ass beating fucking riffs and uh Ian is a fucking crazy vocalist. Yeah, Hanging Fortress is definitely killing it with that style.
Yeah,
I can name a
yeah,
bunch of things, but I also my mind is trash.
yeah. No, I usually like I don't know. This is just my own thing. I like doing like top 10 lists at the end of the year.
One more.
Yeah.
Afterbirth, the newest Afterbirth record is
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, I've been playing it nonstop. Four Dimensional Flesh when it came out in 2020 was my number one, and this might be as well. There's just something fucking addictive about that band, like the vocal cadence and everything, and just like the experimental technicality. Like it doesn't feel like they're just trying to be as fast and fucking crazy as possible. They're like jazzy and proggy with it, and like brutal. Like it's brutal, heavy death metal. Yeah, Afterbirth. That might be my favorite right now.
yeah.
Sorry,
I gotta check it out some more. I like heard a few songs, and I know the
it's so
guy
good.
from Artificial Brain. He left Artificial Brain, and he's like focusing on like Afterbirth. So that made
Yeah,
me want to check it out.
that's the homie Big Will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I was gonna say one of my favorites is from 20 Buck Spin, Majesties. Did you ever check out the Majesties album?
yeah. Majesties is great.
Yeah,
Um,
that blew me away.
they
To
did they have a release a couple years ago too?
I think that's their, from what I know, it's their like first album, but I
Oh
think they're
no,
from a
okay.
bunch of other bands.
Yeah, they're from that obstacle.
Yeah,
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 yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's yeah. The Majesty thing is crazy. Yeah, it's so cool seeing the amount of different types of death metal just coming out, and um, I mean, it's always been, you know what I mean. There's always been a wide array of it, but
yeah. And
I
then
don't know
oh,
where I was
there was
going with
one
that.
more. I don't know if you checked out the Sulfur Eon.
Oh, I don't even know that.
I think they're like I want to say they're from Europe somewhere. I think they're from, I forget. I gotta double check, but uh
Sulfur Aeon.
yeah, they remind me of like Suffering Hour. I know you're familiar with Suffering Hour. Yeah, they're like remind me a lot of like Suffering Hour, just that really melodic, like black and death metal. Like
Okay,
it's like
okay,
stuff you can like hum the melody to, but with like a lot of like blast beats and
yeah.
just like
I'm
yeah, death
definitely
metal
checking that out.
riffs. Yeah, it's really good. I like those are the two that I like. Um, but yeah, I like doing those top 10 lists, and I always like checking out other people, see what they were into this year. Um, but yeah, those are all my questions, and I don't want to hold you up too long. I know there's like a time difference out here, so but yeah, thanks again, Garrett, for
No,
talking with
we're
me.
still in the same. We're in the same time frame.
Oh,
Think so?
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think I'm
yeah.
an hour behind you guys.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, stupid daylight savings time. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I don't want to hold you up too long. But yeah, thanks again for talking with me. And I hope you guys like start routing some tours somewhere around here. Again, I'll definitely want to make it out there to one of your
Sorry, my
shows.
last little bit there was me pissing. Yeah, no, we are for sure coming back to Albuquerque. I'm not gonna say when, but yeah, we are for sure. And in that area in general, I'd love to fucking do something on the Navajo Nation too. I think that
Yeah,
would
yeah,
be
for
really,
sure.
really, really fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, I I know of people around here that do shows, so yeah, I can definitely try to point you in the direction that. I mean, I wish I could promote shows and stuff, but to me, it just seems like a lot of a lot of work. I don't know, like seems kind of
I
dangerous too.
mean,
I don't know, like the amount of like shit that can go wrong at a show. I don't want to be like held responsible.
yeah, but I mean, if you know some bands and you know a venue, and like I'll get at you, like we can set something up really, really low key, really easy. That's the other nice thing about like nobody's doing our moves for us. You know what I mean? Like, well, we can adapt and do anything and just fucking have fun with it. And that's how I want to keep it because music should be fucking fun.
Yeah. All right, man. All right, Garrett.
Hell yeah,
Well,
man.
yeah, appreciate it. And yeah, everyone should check out the new EP. I'll leave
Desecration and
links to
Enchantment.
where to find it. All right. Peace.
Hell yeah, brother. Have a good night.
You too.